12 of us in a recreation hall of a mobile home park. And that's the way it began. That's the way Calvary Chapel began. Then we moved to the Girls Club building. We'd grown from the 12 people to about 25. The realtor told us that there was a church for sale on Church Street. Then we were able to qualify and we bought Church Street. From there, we had these interim pastors coming in. And then we heard about Paul Smith. And then somebody said, well, Paul has a brother, Chuck, maybe you ought to have him come. That was the beginning of Pastor Chuck coming. He came the first Sunday in 1965.
I came to Calvary Chapel when I was 5, and I was there because my father got the job of being the pastor of Calvary. I had no idea of what the Lord had in mind for my father or for the ministry in Costa Mesa.
The Lord began to speak to me. Through the word of prophecy, the Lord said that He was going to begin to bless my ministry far beyond our wildest dreams.
Do you hear the Lord speaking to your hearts tonight?
Something did begin to stir. It was some of the most beautiful memories of my childhood.
God miraculously began to grow the church and provide the money. So my dad buys some property that was on the corner now of Fairview and Sunflower. And the church is so outgrown. They set up this huge circus tent. But it's interesting because all sorts of people and hippies began to be drawn to the church. Corrie ten Boom would come to the tent. And my dad would look down and say, well, Corrie's here. She might have something to say. And Corrie would shake her head and she would speak to us.
But I have to say that in '73, when we first arrived, that was the transition from the time that Calvary was first in the tent and then moved into the big sanctuary that we are in today. The concerts on Saturday night were drawing quite a lot of people.
And there you would hear usually 1 or 2 bands, maybe a single artist play. And it was phenomenal. You didn't know these people before they played. And once they played, you were just like, I love that song. And they became established as a band.
And many could say that during that time, that's when they accepted the Lord. It was at the concerts was the draw for young people.
It just seemed like everybody, like the whole world was coming and being saved.
The Lord said, the name means shepherd, and I am going to make you a shepherd of many flocks. And the people will come in throngs, so much so that they won't be able to fit into the church.
I have to say that as exciting as those times were, what is happening today is the most exciting of all.
When Brian and I went to Vista, what we had learned at Calvary, what we had felt at Calvary, is what we wanted God to recreate in Vista. And it's that same legacy that we have known, that we have experienced, that we want to see continue here at Calvary Chapel Costa Mesa. A legacy of truth in the Word of God and grace the atmosphere.